Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. Today I will have guests on from the local LaGrange Kiwanis Club. Also, I will have a guest on from the Lafayette Society of Performing Arts. So stay tuned for those interviews coming up in just a moment.
Thanks to your generosity, Marines have delivered Christmas to children in need since 1947.
Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm being joined by members of the local LaGrange Kiwanis Club. To my far left I have Fred Cameron, and immediately seated next to me, Elia Baltes. Welcome to the show, both of you ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with both of you all. Elia, I know that you've been here a number of times talking about events going on in and around our community, so I'm going to ask you if you'll let me yield over to Fred.
Of course.
And just talk a little bit with Fred, find a little bit about Fred if you don't mind.
That's why I brought him.
That's why you brought him, okay. All right. Fred, tell us a little bit about yourself if you don't mind.
Well, I've lived here for most of my life, and I've enjoyed seeing LaGrange change over the years. And a few years ago, I owned Cameron Steel, which is part of my background, has always been in metal.
Okay.
So a few years ago, I was asked to join the Kiwanis, and I've always been interested in promoting anything that has to do with children. And that was the first thing they said is everything we do is for the kids. So I was in. At that point, I was sold, So I've been in the club 4 or 5 years, and I've had this will be my 3rd year that I've done radio days. And I thoroughly enjoy doing what I do and working with the club, and it's a great organization. I can't say enough about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was telling you all that before we came on air, I'm a local Kiwanian myself, just haven't been to a meeting in quite some time. And I think, Elia, I took you over some years ago, and you're now in Kiwanis. Tell us a little bit about you, if you don't mind, Elia.
Well, I work for LaGrange. I'm the homeownership manager. But I really enjoy being a part of that with Kiwanis. We're allowed to go there every week, but there's so many events and so many good things that Kiwanis does with children, because that's basically what we do. Is we're a children's organization, a youth organization, and I've just really enjoyed all this stuff. I try to help all this stuff, a little bit on some of the other stuff that I can do. But
she would do it all if we'd let her.
If you let her do it, I know, absolutely.
But I really, when I saw what radio days, and I helped a little bit the previous year, and I thought, well, I really would like to do this, and I know that Fred allowed me to help him to do it and stuff, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, very good. And Fred, you say you've been there about 4 or 5 years, and when I was there, Charlie Burton was the one that kind of introduced me to Kiwanis a number of years ago, and then he was a Kiwanis himself, and again, as you talked about giving back and raising up our next generation of children. And I know that and locally here we have a club in the schools. Talk a little bit about the Key Club, I think is the equivalent of the adult Kiwanis. Talk about that if y'all don't mind.
Well, the Key Club, we have several members, 3 or 4 members in the club that work with the schools to get the children to volunteer to be in the Key Club and get them totally involved in. One thing that I know that personally impacts me is every year at our pancake benefit, all the Key Club come and they serve, and they take over the whole thing, and it's wonderful. and they, you know, to have some fresh faces and smiling and all that is a breath of fresh air. It really is. You got
Well,
anything
they're
you want to
future
add?
Kiwanis too, so
And the
that
future
kind of
Kiwanis,
gets
right,
them
yeah.
into this, into giving and serving too.
And you talked about the pancake breakfast. I'm just going to, that's normally held in March, I think.
Yes.
About March sometime. And,
Yes.
and First Baptist has been the location for like the last 5, 6
They have
years.
graciously allowed us. I mean, it is a great venue to have that kitchen serving area, and then that great big banquet area is wonderful. I mean, we can probably have, I don't know, 200-300 people sitting there at one time. It's like a big social event. People come that every year. You know, I'm looking for Ralph. I'm looking for Fred. And, you know, and they have breakfast together, and it's great. It's a bonding.
Absolutely. The fellowship
Episode,
of it.
yes.
Absolutely.
It's very good.
Let's talk a little bit about, you know, if someone was watching the show today and they heard you all talking about, you know, how you interface with the key clubs in high school and, you know, you're dealing with the youth of our community and they wanted a little bit more information about Kiwanis, how can they get in touch with you all or how can they learn a little bit more about Kiwanis?
Well, you can go online in www.Kiwanis, and it will pull up the website, and it will allow you to go to the LaGrange website, and you know, you can get all the information you need, telephone numbers, whatever. We meet every Thursday at the Country Club at 12 o'clock. All you got to do is show up, and you'll be given a lunch and a gracious welcome.
Okay, well, very good.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, and I want to talk a little bit about what you all are here to talk about. I know there's some other programs that I want to come back to, but Fred, you were mentioning radio days. Let's talk about that a little bit. How did that program come about?
Walter Douglas at WTRP started this. Is his kind of baby. He sets up you know, all the mics and all that stuff for us, and he does the intro in and out, and then we take turns. Each member that volunteers to come that day takes turn reading the advertisements for the companies that we've sold the ads to. It's a great thing. You know, it usually takes us 3 hours maybe to go through all the ads because we'll cycle through, and so, you know, if you didn't hear it at 8, you might hear it at 10:30.
Okay, all right. And
Exactly.
the purpose of it is to raise funds for the youth and other things?
We've got, what, 5 or 6 different venues that we give the money to. The money that we raise goes right into, you know, the different activities or scholarships or whatever, key club, all the things that we support. That's where that money goes, every nickel.
Okay, all right. And you know, talking about some of those programs, Eli, I want to get you to comment on the Coats for Kids. I see that is one of the kind of subtitles under the radio days.
It is, and Coats for Kids is really a neat thing because it gets cold and children, now we say Coats for Kids, but it's also adults.
Okay.
We also want adult coats, and people will bring their coats. They can be used. Some people bring new, but all of them are cleaned, as Fred said, at Ideal Cleaners and no charge. We extended it. I think we extended it till January last year, and so I think we'll do that this year. And because the thought behind that was that people would get new coats for Christmas, and then they could give us their old coats. So it's a really, and if any business wants a box, you know, we get them box, you can put it on your business and collect codes for us.
Okay.
Just give us a call or let us know, and we'll go put one
Bring
there.
the box right out to your place.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, and is that Jim Sexton that
Yes.
do that?
Okay.
We'll bring it out there for you and pick it up later, afterwards.
I'd like to add that, like I said earlier, we generally collect between 900 and 1,200 coats. And that's just tremendous.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, one of the things I found out about this community is such a giving and caring community. If there's a need, the people don't have a problem coming out and giving to a great cause. And, you know, organizations like Kiwanis, I don't want to start naming any because I don't want any to feel slighted. Kiwanis, Key, you know, Rotary, all of those various Lions clubs. All of them, I think, the goals and missions are sort of what, you know, overlapping, and there's enough for every one of us to do, absolutely.
It is.
Talking about, in the Boys and Girls Club, here's another one that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I see that they're a part of the umbrella from the radio days as well. Talk about the interaction between the Kiwanis and the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, I don't know. I know that we've got 2 or 3 people that we do support the boy. That's what got me in, because years ago I was supported the Boys and Girls Club at Cammon Steel, and they were involved with the Buick Challenge down at Kellaway Gardens. So I kind of got in it then, and that's how they got me again in the Kiwanis. They said Boys and Girls Club, and I said, oh, okay, so
I'm in.
I'm in.
Okay.
We've done everything from go over there to clean up the property and trim the bushes and the hedges to we give them money.
Absolutely.
So we do fully support that.
And that's a great organization there.
Yes.
Miko Denson, there's the executive director, and staff Kim, and I won't start calling names again. I'll leave out folks,
Okay.
Alan and Emily, all of them,
They're
they do a
all out.
wonderful job there. Now, the Coast for Kids will be going on through December. Now, the radio days will be going on through
December the 10th.
Okay, all right. So if anybody wants to get a spot on your show.
I will take their ad money on December the 10th morning, and I will
that day.
write their ad for them right on the spot.
Okay, absolutely. And there's a contact number or anything they can get in touch with you at Fred?
You can give your number if you want.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
706-402-8824 is my personal cell. You can call me. I'll be glad to take the call.
Okay, well, very good. We're here today talking with Ely and Fred from local Kiwanis. Another one of the programs that I want to talk about, and I know this happens every year too, I think is the Terrific Kids program. Can y'all talk about that for us for a little bit, if you don't mind?
Well, Jim Saxon, again.
Again, Jim.
Yes.
Jim is a jewel. He started that several years ago, and they go around to the schools that buy into this. We have to ask permission to go in the school property, obviously, and then we'll send 2 or 3 representatives from Kiwanis. And what we do, all you ever hear about kids is something negative, like he didn't pass. He said this. We reward children, give them rewards in the form of anything from T-shirts to all kinds of goodies, tote bags, you name it.
Okay.
And they're rewarded for doing good in school, academic achievement, athletic achievement, whatever that we can recognize them to give them a sense of accomplishment. And we feel like that's important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anytime you can encourage a kid or inspire them to continue to do good as well at home and as well as school, because it carries over both locations.
And you never know when you're going to change a child's life. Just from one thing you do.
Absolutely. In mentioning Jim, you were saying that Jim has kind of got his hands in all of the various programs. I understand before we came on, Jim is the lieutenant governor for this.
He is now the lieutenant governor for this year, so he has his hands full.
Okay, absolutely.
He's been given every award that you could possibly get in Kiwanis.
And Jim has been there a very, very long time.
Long time, yes.
Long time. Well, again, we're here today talking with Elia Baltis and Fred Cameron from the Kiwanis Club. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank both of you all for coming on. And Fred, I know the phone's going to ring and those donations are going to come in. And by all means, give them that number one more time, Fred, as we close out, if you don't mind.
706-402-8824 is my personal cell.
Okay. All right.
Be glad to take the call.
Okay.
If you own a business here in LaGrange and you want us to read your advertisement on the radio on December the 10th, give me a call. It's $50 for two spots on our TV channel. I'd be glad to take your ad over the phone, whatever. We'll do it. Call me.
All right. Well, I want to thank both of you all for being on the show today. And I know the phone's going to ring and the money's going to come in, and we're going to be able to reach each one of you guys' goals for doing the various programs that you have outlined here. So thank you both for coming
thank
on.
you.
Alton,
All right.
for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment.
Excuse me. Excuse me, are you Santa Claus? I heard you might be him. If you are him, here's my list.
Help the Marines make Christmas possible for less fortunate children. Donate a new toy to Toys for Tots.
Here's Santa Claus.
Nobody wants to be stopped by a law enforcement officer.
Everyone wants to feel safe.
So we've trained our officers to first listen and then explain.
We ask if you have contact with one of our officers. You listen, give him an opportunity to explain, Comply with his requests, and if there's a problem, contact us so that we can investigate your complaint.
Listen, explain, comply, then complain.
Our safety and yours matters.
Welcome back, City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm sitting down with the Director of Development from the Lafayette Society of Performing Arts, Jennifer Shook.
Hi.
Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well,
We're glad to be here.
It's a pleasure to sit down with you again. I remember the last time you and I sat down, we was down at the theater.
We were.
And we had a great time together then, and I know today's going to be just awesome as well.
Yes, sir.
Well, Jennifer, tell me a little bit. I know that you've been there with the LSPA now about 4 years.
I have been. I've actually been in several different roles at LSPA over the last 4 years. I've been teaching dance. I was the executive director, and I'm now the director of development. So I kind of get a full run of everything that goes on at LSPA.
That's right. Well, there's so much going on down there because, you know, we had on a group last week, and it talked about the Nutcracker that you all just finished up.
We did.
I understand that was a very, very successful show. But there's some multiple, I like to think of like the rain under the umbrella.
Yes.
You guys are the umbrella, and there's a lot of organizations. Yes. Talk a little bit about the structure, if you don't mind.
Sure. LSPA is a performing arts school. We provide various performing arts activities for children and adults, and we have 4 cornerstones. Predominantly, we have music, dance, theater, and storytelling. And so we have various groups that are underneath that. Young Singers of West Georgia is one of those groups, which I'm here to talk to you about today, about their Christmas Memories production that's coming up. So we're super excited to be bringing all kinds of arts productions throughout the year to the City of LaGrange and our surrounding areas of Troup County.
Let me ask you now, Jennifer, because you've been in a number of roles. You say you dance instructor, various things. How important to you and to others is the arts in the development of a child?
Wow, that's a great question. The arts are hugely important, and as you may know, a lot of federal funding has been taken away from our schools that provide a lot of arts education. There's been more money put towards other things instead, and so LSPA has taken on a larger role of helping provide educational opportunities that provide these soft skills that kids learn in schools. In fact, when I go talk to companies and businesses about what we need, you know, in the community, about how we can improve the skill sets of people that are graduating and coming out, one of the biggest things they say they need are soft skills. Communication skills, being able to get up in public, speak and talk and not be, you know, nervous, and kind of have ways to learn those skills that they're not getting in school anymore. Absolutely. And so I would say there's so many ways in which the arts provides those kind of things to children, but it also gives them creative outlets to express themselves. It gives them ways to, you know, work out problems with people. It shows them ways that they can, you know, expand their horizon, and that the sky's the limit. I mean, you could be a Hollywood star, you could be a teacher, but all of the things that you learn in the arts will help you and take you farther in your career.
Absolutely. You know, it is, you know, I have good friends that are in the arts, and it's so, like, it's all the things that you just said and more.
And more.
And more, because it does, especially you take a shy individual, it helps him or her to break out of that shell.
It does. And it just gives them opportunities to try new things that they might be stepping out of the box, out of their comfort zone to do.
Absolutely.
But it creates a more well-rounded child, I believe, when they have arts in their life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you mentioned about the Young Singers, which is the event that we want to talk about, and then I want to talk a little bit about some other things. The Young Singers, they have an event coming up over the Christmas holiday, Christmas Memories. Talk about that for us.
Well, Christmas Memories is a production. It's created and conducted and run by their fearless leader, Stacey Hardegree. She could not be here today, which is why I'm here talking about it in her place. But she is their fearless leader. She has such a talent. She is actually the director of music for Rosemont, as well as the director of Young Singers at LSPA. So she has her hands in lots of different pots, but she is a resident talent, and we are so blessed and lucky to have her with us. The show is going to be held coming up this weekend on December 9th and 10th. There is a 7 p.m. show on the 9th and a 3 p.m. show on the 10th. It consists of 4 acts. There's going to be music from the holidays. Hopefully, I think her goal with the show was to make sure that you remember fondly your memories from growing up. This show has been done before in the past, and they've kind of had a couple years where they haven't done it, and so it's backed by popular demand. So it's going to be a wonderful holiday production, a great way to kick off your holiday season if you're ready to get in the spirit, because I know this year has been tumultuous on many levels. So we're excited to kind of be able to bring this wonderful holiday spread to you.
Absolutely. And that's going to be held out at New Community Church, right?
At New Community Church off of South Davis Road.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And talk about ticket price for that show.
Ticket prices range. They're $8 for students and $12 for adults. You can get those tickets online at www.lsparts.org. You can get tickets to all of the LSPA events on that website.
Okay. Well, very good. And I was learning even within the young singers, there's like multiple levels of it.
There are 4 separate choirs in Young Singers. There is a boys choir, which is 3rd through 7th grade. There is a girls choir, same age, 3rd through 7th grade. And then there's a master choir, which consists of students 8th through 12th grade. And then there's an ensemble group that also works with Young Singers, and it's a select group of high school students, and they get a chance to travel and go to different places and perform. But one of the things too that Young Singers does is they travel to different destinations. Last year they went to New Orleans and did some shows in New Orleans. They are traveling, I believe this year to Italy and some other places around the world. So one of the things that they try to do is provide students here in LaGrange a cultural diversity of learning of their surroundings and things around the world to express their joy of music and their lifelong learning of music and becoming better musicians.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity when you can take someone and carry them to other various places to find out their cultures and stuff, and then bring it back.
And Stacy's so good about ensuring that it's not just you don't learn just about stuff here in LaGrange. Music is it crosses all boundaries. That's kind of what the arts does. Arts crosses all boundaries. It doesn't matter where you're from. Everybody understands the arts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a great way to well-round individuals and adults to help us to understand each other. And when we understand each other, we find out, hey, we're not so much different after all.
Absolutely. And so one of the things I was going to mention too with that is that we have been so fortunate with LSPA to have wonderful sponsors who have helped cultivate those relationships and spreading of music and arts in the community. And Jim Bob's is our #1 sponsor, our title sponsor this year. We're so blessed. They also have students who participate in Young Singers, so we're excited that they have come on and partnered with us. We also have the Ankle and Foot Centers of Georgia who have also partnered with us to bring this show to life.
Okay, well, very good. Talking about partnering, Jennifer, and talking about the different levels of young singers, if there was a young individual or an adult that was listening to the show today and was like, hey, you know what, I'd like to be a part of that.
Yes.
How can they get to be a part of that?
Absolutely. Stacy Hardigree, she hosts auditions throughout the year, so open auditions. If you are interested in being part of Young Singers or any part of LSPA, first I would recommend you visit the website at www.lsparts.org, but you can call LSPA and you can schedule an audition with Stacy, and she does it by audition only. It's a scheduled appointment. Okay, all right, well, very good. And because you guys have, and we're going to talk about some upcoming things here in just a moment, but because you guys have so much going on, you have the various organizations there, is there an opportunity for volunteerism? There's always an opportunity for volunteerism. If you're interested in volunteering with any of our organizations at LSPA, please contact Carrie Weiss. She's our executive director. You can visit the website, get the phone number, but you can also go online. There's opportunities listed on there as well, and you can see various areas in which you can help out. Okay, well, very good, very good. Because there are so many things that you guys have coming up. I'm not going to get to all of them because we do want them to go to the website to definitely look at what's coming up. Talk about the upcoming one, You Can't Take It With You. Yes, well, we have a lot of productions that are just now, our spring lineup has a lot going on. You Can't Take It With You is directed by Ryan McWhorter. We're very excited about this production. It's set in the 1940s, and it's going to be a great dinner theater opportunity. We host 4 dinner theater options throughout the year. This will be our 3rd show of the season, and it will be at LSPA, and we will partner with Marisol, and when you buy your tickets to the show, you can purchase your dinner to be delivered to your table. Oh my, okay. It's a great little partnership there. Very good. And that one's going to be in the spring? It will be at the end of January through the 4th of February. Okay, very good. All right. And here's another one. Of course, we all
have perhaps been to the storytelling
yes,
festival.
the Azalea Storytelling Festival as well.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about that one too.
Yes, Azalea Storytelling Festival this year is going to be held the first weekend in March.
Okay.
And it's March 3rd through the 5th, and it will be at Callaway Auditorium. We're super excited to host it again at Callaway. We have a great group of volunteers who run the Azalea Storytelling Festival. So we have a great lineup for that. We have Kimberly Clark, who has sponsored that production this year, as well as West Georgia Tech. So we have some great people who have come on to help support that.
Absolutely. And again, if we start naming names, I'm going to leave out somebody, but I just got to mention Carol Kane.
Oh my gosh, Carol Kane. Carol Kane's all involved up in LSPA. We are so thankful to have her as part of the Azalea Storytelling Festival, of course, but we also have her, she works with our Theater Academy, so she is now teaching Theater Academy classes to our young kids who are kind of getting their dabbling in the theater productions. We've got Charlotte's Web coming up, which she will be the director of, and we're super excited about that. That's also in March, and the dates are not coming to my mind right now, but it's go to our website. It's on the website.
On the website.
And I think it's the weekend of March 24th, I believe.
Okay.
But we have lots of productions in March. March is probably our busiest month of the year. We've got, not only do we have the Azalea Storytelling Festival, we've got Charlotte's Web, we've got Swan Lake with the Lafayette Ballet Company. Okay. And so we are going to be jam-packed with things to do in the month of March.
Absolutely. So there again, there's opportunity for you to come and to see a show production.
Absolutely.
And also to volunteer and to support the arts. Now, let me just say, if there was a company, Jennifer, and I know we always can use extra funding. If there was a company that was listening and say, you know what, I fully believe in what Jennifer's talking about, I know the importance, how can they make contributions?
Awesome. Well, there are many ways you can contribute to LSPA. Of course, my job predominantly is to go out and build relationships in the community and make sure that those relationships are nurtured and that we are all in this together to promote the arts in LaGrange. We really do feel like it's a very important mission. If you are interested in being a sponsor of one of our shows, you can contact me at LSPA, or you can reach out and look at our website and see all the sponsors that we have already, and talk to some of the sponsors and see how it's worked out for them. One of the things that we've been trying to do this year is give return on investment. When you sign on to be a sponsor, we want to make sure that you get something out of it. And we're so excited, you know, with All Pro Auto Group, who sponsored the Nutcracker this past year and the year before. They sold 2 trucks as part of it. So we want to be able to give, you know, back to what, you know, people are getting out of their investment. It really does go a long way. Of course, building those relationships is the most important part. But feel free to contact me if you're interested in sponsoring, but you can also give. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday, and so obviously there was an opportunity to give to LSPA at that time, but you can also give throughout the year. In our program we have that we have for every show, there is a form in there in which you can send back with a donation. You can always donate that way. But we have multiple levels of sponsorship. We have a community partner sponsorship, an associate level sponsorship, and then we have a title sponsorship. So there are various levels in which you can sponsor at different prices.
Well, great. Jennifer, it's always a pleasure to sit down with you with your energy. They have the right person on the job for the director of development, because I think it takes a person with the energy like yourself and the personality that gets the monies for the arts, because it's so important.
It is so important, yes, it definitely is, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of LSPA.
Well, thank you for being on the show today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Weekend just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed the show today. My guests have been from the LaGrange Kiwanis Club, Elia Baltez, along with Fred Cameron, as they talked about the annual Radio Days event that will be taking place here and giving you an opportunity to donate. So by all means, give them a call and make your donations today. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I had on from the Lafayette Society of Performing Arts, the Director of Development, Jennifer Shook, as she talked about the upcoming Christmas memories that will be taking place on December 9th and 10th at 7 p.m. on the 9th and 3 p.m. on the 10th out at New Community Church. So by all means, if you want to take advantage and a trip down memory lane, give them a call and come on out to Christmas Memories. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed these interviews, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it
Christmas.